Warm welcome to all of you on the new journey to network and internet world. Nowadays, networking and internet is the base of the life. We are communicating over the telephone, voice data, voice calling, we are playing games, all other things. We are doing business, marketing, everything depends on the internet network. So how this data is flowing from one network to another network? That is main thing to understand. How our data is going from one network to another network. So for that, the basic thing we need to understand is the OSI model. That is the base model which describes how our data is going from one network to another network. This is not a physical model. This is like a blueprint. Okay, before going directly into the OSI model, let's understand the basic thing. So what is the objective of this particular video series of OSI model? What is network and internet? Layered approach, layered model approach, purpose of OSI model and its different layer. Specific function belonging to the OSI model layer. Understand how two networks node communicate through the OSI model, structure and purpose of the data packet and the frame. So, computer networking, very first topic that we need to understand. So the multiple computers that are connected together to share the information and the other resources. When the multiple computers are connected together to share the information, like we are sending the mails via Gmail, we are sending some data, we are doing a telephone calls, we are using Google account to share our information. So that is the computer networking. So when multiple computers are connected together to share the information and other resources, that is the computer networking. Like this. So in the very early day, a few computers are connected to each other. In a small room, 2, 3, 4 computers are connected and one is working as a server, all other are working as a client. That time this is not a big problem to manage this network. But nowadays it's a big network. You can see different ISPs, like you are using Airtel, you are using BSNL, you are communicating from India to abroad, everything. So nowadays it's very difficult to maintain such a big internet infrastructure. You can see thousands and thousands, millions of packets are flowing through the network each second, each millisecond you can say. Thousands of telephones calls, we are all accessing the internet, we all are doing the video calls, okay na? So it's become very difficult. So this is a topology for the NSPD with. So it's a big process how our data is transferring from one network to another network. This is a complete task. When we are doing some video call or we are downloading some data from some another machine, like we are downloading something from the Google, we are downloading some games, we are downloading some movies. So how we are sending the request and how we are receiving the request, how we are getting the data from that particular server. So we divide all this process into the layered approach. Means how we are generating the request, how this request is going to the server, then that particular server responding us with the requested data. Even our daily life, in our daily life, we use the same concept. Daily life we are using the same concept of layered task. I have to go to my office. I woke up early in the morning, get ready, then go for the vehicle, search for the vehicle, sit there. We have to reach at time in the office, and then when that office time complete, I have to come back to my office. It's also one by one step. What time, what we have to do. As an example, let's consider two friends who are communicating through postal mail. Suppose I'm sending a letter. I'm doing the speed post or courier. I'm doing anything. We use the same approach. The process of sending a letter to a friend would be complex if there is no service available from the post office. This post office is an intermediate which is delivering my letter to my friend. If this intermediate person is not available, intermediate service is not available, then it becomes very complex for me to send that particular letter to my friend. Okay, got it? So, to do any task efficiently, it should be properly managed, or how we have to do this data. Suppose one more example I want to take. I want to build a home. I want to construct a new home. So what we do? First we talk of space, then we go to any architecture design a blueprint, where should be our bathroom, where should be our bedroom, where should be our dining table, dining room, bedroom, everything he decides. He gives us a blueprint, and according to that blueprint we construct the home for the efficient home that we want. Okay, so everything we do is a layered approach. One by one we do the task. Then one person comes after completing the construction. Then one person comes for the whitewash, plumber, electrician. There are different persons to complete the different tasks to give me a complete efficient home that I want. Like this. First, the letter is written. I am sender. Letter is written, put in the envelope and drop into the mailbox. This is the first task. Then from the letter box or mailbox goes to the post office. Then from the post office, letter goes to carrier for the destination. Then it goes from here, it goes to here, and it goes here at the destination post box or post office. From here it goes to the post box to the mailbox, and then picked up by the receiver, remove the envelope and read that letter. Now it's very clear to every task we do. Every task we do is a layered approach. One by one each person performs his own task. So in the same way, to make the networking process easier, or benefits of layer model. What are the benefits? Why we are implementing same thing on the computer networking? How our data is flowing from one network to another network. So what are the benefits? Better understanding of your network. How your data is transferring from one network to another network. You have the complete path. How our data is flowing. Easier to troubleshoot. When we have the complete path, it's very easy for me to troubleshoot also. Okay? Because troubleshooting is easier. Suppose my one electricity point in my home is not working, I start working from there. First I check my tube lights, my fan, Is it working properly or not? I'm getting the electricity up to that or not? If electricity is not available there, then I go back to my main point, main MCB point. Okay, so one by one we can check, and it is easy to troubleshoot. Easier for a vendor when creating an equipment or protocol. Now the vendor protocol, as there are a lot of equipments that we are using in the networking, that are the routers, that are the switches, cabling. So every vendor knows how we have to design the protocol or equipment. Before the OSI model or with standardization, every vendor have its own monopoly. IBM saying my device is not compatible with any another company device. So there should be the same company device because they have a monopoly. There is no standardization. So now it becomes easier for the vendor. So for that, the OSI model comes into the play. It's only a reference model, you can say. It's not a physical model, it's a reference model how we design the network for the efficient delivery of data from source to destination, or you can say a blueprint. A blueprint. How the data is flowing from source to destination so it can be delivered reliably. It just show me the path. It's not sending my data. It's a blueprint. How the data is transferring or traveling from any source to any destination. So what the OSI model do? What the OSI model do? It divide the all process into the logical groups. Okay, first I am the sender, I have to write a letter. Then put it into an envelope, second layer, second group. Third, then I have to write the proper address. It's third step. Then I have to put it into the mailbox. It's the fourth step. The same way OSI model also divide when I am creating any request to any destination, any server destination for any particular data. It divides the entire process into the logical groups. That groups are known as layers. Got it? If anybody have any doubt, can write me in the comment box. So, what is the OSI model? It was designed by ISO, International Standard Organization, known as the ISO, which is responsible for, I think everybody know about the ISO. We normally see the ISO number. So it is responsible, designed by the ISO. So ISO cover all the aspect of the network communication, how our data is flowing, is OSI, Open System Interconnection. That is the OSI model. It was introduced in late of 1970. I hope up to this everything is clear. So what is the OSI model? It is a blueprint how our data is flowing from source to destination so it can be delivered reliably, and it divides all the process into different layers. Okay, so ISO is the organization. ISO is the organization which designed the OSI, Open System Interconnection. It's a theoretical model logical model or a blueprint. It's not a physical thing that we have to implement. It just need to understand how the data is transferring reliably from source to destination. So I have discussed all these points. I will discuss. So OSI reference model is composed of 7 layers. So it divides the entire process from source to destination into 7 layers. Each specifying particular network function. It divides the entire model, entire process into 7 layers, and each layer specify a network function. At which layer what function have to be performed. The process of breaking up the function of the task of networking into the layer reduce the complexity of the network. So it becomes very easy that I have to take care for this particular point. So it reduces the complexity. Each layer provides a service to the layer above it. So each layer is responsible for providing the service to upper layer or lower layer for the particular protocol. Okay, leave it. So the lower 4 layers. Let's first come to the. It's easy for you to understand. These are the 7 layers of the OSI model. Very first is the physical layer. If we talk from bottom to top, from top to bottom. So very first, application, presentation, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link, and physical layer. These are the 7 layers of the OSI model. It divides the entire process, as I have shown in the previous slide, that it divides the entire process into 7 layers, starting from application, presentation, session, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical. You must have to keep in your mind the sequence of the layers. Always in the networking, always this layer, physical layer, is known as a layer 1, known as L1, L2, L3, and this one L4, this one L5, the bigger font, just okay, L6 and L6. So starting L1, L2, L3, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5, layer 6, and layer 7. So these are the 7 layers of the OSI model that you must have to remember. So how the process starts? At the sender end, if I say this is the sender side, or I'm sitting here, sender, and this is the receiver. This is the receiver side. So how the process starts? A request is generated from the source. A request is generated from the source side and goes to the receiver side. How the data flow? Look. Any of the message start from the application layer and reach up to the physical layer of, via physical layer of the destination, reach up to the application layer and device. Then from there a reply is ready. Reply again start moving from application by physical, transferring from physical to, this is the physical path how our data is transferred. Let's see again. Message going to the destination and reply goes from destination to source. So in this way our data is flowing from any source to any destination and getting the reply. So these are all the layers as I have shown you. Normally this is the device A, device B. All these 7 layer work: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data and physical. Each layer corresponds with its tier layer. What is the application layer? Layer says the destination only listen the application layer request. Presentation layer communicate with presentation layer of destination. So you can see here in this model, in this diagram, that each layer is communicating with each other. So up to this I have explained you about the layer approach, why we are using the layer approach, then about the OSI model and how many layers and how it is working with each other. From next layer, now we will discuss about each layer one by one. What is application layer, how it works, what it do, how it is communicate with the presentation layer. In this way we go one by one to all the layers in my next videos. So hope you understand something about the OSI model, what is the use of OSI model, why we use the OSI model. So thank you for this. Okay, I hope you enjoy this video. So see you very soon in the next topic of application layer and another layer one by one. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.